Hi, I'm Chris Mullinax, the president of CRM Properties. Today I'm going to talk briefly about how we determine the rent price on a rental property in Indianapolis or any other market. The first thing that we want to do is do a bit of a market analysis. We're going to find out what's going on with the market. Is the market hot? Is the market slow? Is there a big demand for rental properties? Are people renting? Just what's going on with the market today. The next thing we like to look at is the property condition. So it's really important. It really comes down to a few key things, but the condition of the property is really important. So we're going to go through the property and try to determine, are there any specific amenities that are going to impact rent? What's the condition? How's the condition going to impact rent? We really have got to see it both inside and out to get an idea of just how that condition is going to impact the rent. The next thing that we're going to want to look at is basically do a competitor analysis. This would be what you may think of when you say check the comps on the property. So what we want to do there is just go look at what's on the market that's going to be comparable to this particular property. And we want to get as specific as we can. We want to look in as close to the same area as possible, same type of conditions, same type of size of property. And then we're going to want to see what the current properties are being advertised for. That'll play a big role in maybe what price we should start. And then we're going to look at the similar properties that have rented recently. And when we say recently, we want to look as closely to today as possible. We don't want to go back a year. At times, we don't even want to go back 6 months. We want to go back, hopefully, within the last 1 to 3 months to see what the comparable properties have rented for. And then that's going to help us determine what rent dollar we're going to want to use as well. Another item that we think is really important in determining rent price is going to be time of year. Obviously, we're going to have a time of year when the demand is better than others. Obviously, late spring, early summer, during the off season for school is going to be a real popular time to rent a property. In the middle of winter or during the holiday season, that's going to be a time in which people aren't looking to rent. So that can play a small role in how we're determining the rent price as well. Another thing that we do that we like, but this is kind of dangerous, you don't want to read too much into this, we'll use some third-party sites to get maybe some average rents or some rent information. And when I say third-party sites, that would be things like Zillow or say Rentometer. Those are a couple places where they will spit out what they think the average rent will be. And although it can be helpful, it can also be off quite a bit. They may be only looking at properties that were advertised, not actually leased. They may not have the information for what it was actually leased for. So that's good to some degree. It may point you in the direction of some fair comps, but you got to be real careful when you look at the actual dollar and knowing whether that dollar is correct or not. One last thing that I think is important to note is target market. I think as you look at your rent, you're going to want to know, who are we really trying to rent the property to? We find that there's a lot of homeowners that make the mistake of they think that their property will be attractive to this group of renters. And in fact, that group of renters isn't the one that's going to rent your property. And that may, from the owner's standpoint, tell the owner what kind of rent they think they should get. So I think it's important to understand who's really going to rent your property. Last thing that I want to mention, I think this is very important. We like to have the conversation with our clients about rent and whether you want to maximize your rents or you want to maximize the resident's stay in the property. And sometimes if getting the resident to stay long-term is your number one focus, then you maybe don't want to push the rent as high as you might think. So that's definitely an important question we like to have with owners as well. If you've got any questions about the rental market or how to set your rent price, don't hesitate to reach out to us.